I think when I made the right on Hereford, I thought, okay, this is happening. Like, this is for real. Honestly, I was running totally afraid the rest of the day, and I knew the conditions were bad, but I knew I was running really slow, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get chewed up. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of mile by mile, and then when I made that right-hand turn, and people were really excited, not like in the way they're like, okay, someone's chasing me down, but they were like, you're gonna win, excited. That's when I let it click, and even all the way, I've been in a sprint finish on Boylston, so I still tried not to let off the gas until I got right up to the tape.
For you.
It just feels so good to be at this press conference. I'm thrilled. This is storybook stuff. I mean, I got into the sport because of the Boston Marathon, and I came out here in 2007 and debuted as a nobody, and the BAA and Jack Fleming and Gloria Ratty took me in like I belonged, and John Hancock has done the same. So to win on this course and in this race with that support group that's always believed in runners and believed in me is just awesome.
Yuki, tell us a little bit about how you're feeling with the win, and what does this mean back home in Japan as well?
That you thank the organization for believing in you when you didn't believe in yourself. And to us, you've always seemed very resolute, very stoic. What were those moments where you didn't think this day would come?
I mean, in 2007, no one believed I would, be sitting here, that's for sure. But the BAA treated us like rock stars. They came in and showed us the history and their museum, and like, hey, these are so-and-so's shoes, and like, you could have your stuff in here one day. And they just treated us like we belonged, and that, made me want to be a marathoner. And obviously along the way, I think we have moments like 2012 where I didn't know if I would come back from the femur fracture. And there's been ups and downs along the way, but these guys always, when they invite you, it means something. When John Hancock reaches out and said, we want you to be here in our field, it means something, and you step up your game because they're bringing the best, and that's what they think of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think during the national anthem, I was kind of replaying that whole scenario where at 6 miles, I thought, no way, not my day, and then it was kind of hilarious how it worked out. And again, even when I got into the lead, I was like, this is gonna go horribly wrong. I'm gonna blow up. Like, when you're kind of thinking you're gonna drop out, you don't do the right things along the way. Like, I was really bad with taking in fluids today, and I'm like, my legs are gonna cramp for sure. Like, this is, I know I'm slowing down a ton right now. When am I gonna get chewed up and spit out the back, and then I can drop out? And so I guess I was thinking all of those things, and then you break the tape and you're like, this is not what I expected today. But it's absolutely amazing, and running down Boylston was amazing. So maybe it was the national anthem where I did the flashback of 26.2 miles, and you saw the range of emotions I was feeling during the race. And I can't help you with, I just go straight to the closest place, which is in this hotel. Coffee, well, my husband and Ben True started Linden and True coffee, and so they barista it up in the room. I don't think I've ever raced that distance in those conditions. I raced a 10K in Japan, and I remember that was very similar. I remember being like that. I was plenty. I would not go another step, and this was very similar. My hands are freezing, and there were times where you just stood up by the wind, where it was kind of comical, like how slow you were running, and how much further I had to go. So it was definitely toughest conditions on the cold side that I've run in. I mean, obviously the heat's a whole another factor, and I guess if I had to pick between the two, I would just take a day off.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. I just want to...
that last stretch?
Not a clue. I definitely would have slowed down Because I felt awful. I was like, I'm definitely, this is going to be embarrassing. I was just running as hard as I could. And if I had known I had that gap, I for sure would have slowed down and probably would have got caught then. So it's good to not look back.
And then just having, having come so close to winning this race in 2011, what did it mean? I guess it's a little different if you didn't know that you had so much space, but just that final push and doing it.
Yeah, I think probably 2011 is what put the fear in me more than any actual pressure of someone being there. Just being in that sprint battle is not super fun. I remember when I first watched a marathon, it was a sprint finish, and I was like, this looks horrible. You had all day to finish that, and now you're sprinting for the win. So I think, to get it done well ahead of time was nice, but I was still working Boylston as hard as I could. But the last couple steps, it was like, oh, this is for real, and it was nice to get it right down Boylston this time, that's for sure.
All right, we're going to happen there, and then how good is that first whiskey going to taste tonight?
Yeah, honestly, early on in the race, I was feeling horrible, and I was like, I just kind of nudged her and said, hey, I might drop out. There's a good chance I'm going to drop out today. If you need something, block the wind, whatever, let me know. And so she nudged me, and she's like, I'm going to hit the bathroom. And I was like, well, if it slows up, great. If not, I'll, try to tuck in and bring you back to the group. And that was that. And then when I got back to the group and kind of connected, Molly was at the front and Daska had made the move, and I was like, well, I should probably help Molly reconnect to that. And then I turned back and I was in third or fourth, and I thought, well, I probably shouldn't drop out. So I kept going. Honestly, I felt miserable, and sometimes when you pick it up and just forget about how you're feeling and just engage for a little bit, it can kind of turn everything around. So it's kind of what happened. And as far as the whiskey, it might be too aggressive tonight. I'm feeling pretty beat. I'll probably end up standing on a table or something, so I should dial it down to the 26.2 brew, because it's very nice and light. Yeah, it's always been kind of our game plan is know exactly what you're capable of on the day, and set yourself up to at least do that through 20 miles and then race in. But it's not necessarily by design. Obviously a negative split would be a lot better, just to be able to close really fast. It's actually something I've been working on mixing up a little bit, because I think sometimes I just get in the wrong pace and then I feel lethargic over the second half when I should be able to turn it over quicker. So it has its ups and downs, and obviously today it wasn't about splits at all. It was just get to the finish.
Yes, thank you. This is for Yuki, John Powers, Boston Globe. Can you tell us what you do for your job? And I think you ran 12 marathons last year. Why do you run so many at a time when most people run 2?
仕事は高校、ハイスクールの方で、事務職をやっています。で今は主に今年高校が100年の記念式典をやるので、その100年のセレモニーの準備というよりは、記念の雑誌を書く仕事をやっています。
I work in the administration office of a high school, and this year the high school is celebrating its 100th anniversary, so I'm quite busy writing the commemorative magazine for that.
そうですね、まず私がレースがすごい大好きということで、私が走ってる意味というのが世界中いろんなレースを走りたいというのがあるということが1点、もう1点がなかなか一人だとレースペースを追い込むことができないので、レースを使ってしっかりと40キロを走るという、その2つが主な理由です。
I run a lot of races because I love to run races. It's one of the things I enjoy the most. Racing a lot gives me the opportunity to travel the world, see different places, get to meet different people, experience different things. And in a more practical sense, because I train by myself, if I did not run a lot of races, I wouldn't be able to put in the same kind of quality. So running races gives me the chance to get in, long 40K quality runs and such.
Hi, Yuki.